There is a special moment when a new mom is about to introduce a new life into the world. Unfortunately for many Black pregnant women, they don't get to experience that beautiful moment. According to the CDC, 861 Black women died from pregnancy-related complications in 2020. That rate is 3 times higher than white counterparts. The CDC has listed several factors that contribute to these disproportionate birth outcomes. They range from things like variation in quality healthcare to structural racism and implicit bias. We chatted with Dr. Stewart, who is of the women's group OBGYN, on the subject of maternal mortality.
When we talk about the maternal mortality, we're really talking about maternal death rate. So when we speak of maternal death rate, this is any pregnancy-related death of a woman during pregnancy or after pregnancy up to 1 year postpartum. But it has to be related to a pregnancy-related death. So once again, it's like a death of a woman during pregnancy or up to a whole year postpartum. So that's what some people don't understand is that whole year postpartum, but it has to be related to something pregnancy related. So it's not like a person got into a car accident or something like that, but something pregnancy related. And the reason why I was really happy that you brought this topic up is because we know now that 60% of maternal deaths can be prevented. That's over half can be prevented. So we bring more awareness, like the topics that you're doing today. Maybe we can bring this number down. The reason why it's so dear to me is because Black women are 4 to 5 times more higher risk of dying from a pregnancy-related complication than a white woman. So that's a big deal.
Medicare and Medicaid research reviewers say these issues date back to the late 1700s, at that time where the U.S. Census classified Black people as 3/5 of a person. In the 1800s, a man by the name James Marion Sims, who was named the father of gynecology, experimented on enslaved Black women and denied them therapeutic treatment. Oftentimes, many pregnant Black women are misdiagnosed while in the emergency room. This results in doctors missing crucial issues like a woman having preeclampsia and sending them home.
Preeclampsia, some people know it as toxemia of pregnancy, but basically that's high blood pressure during pregnancy. It doesn't mean you have high blood pressure for your life. It's just you have it during pregnancy or immediately postpartum. So you can go through your whole pregnancy and be fine, and then even like a couple of days postpartum, develop high blood pressure. That's still preeclampsia, and that's a major risk factor for maternal death. It's something it leads up to something called eclampsia. Eclampsia is when you can have a seizure during pregnancy or postpartum. And once again, major risk factor. Mom can be at home caring for her baby, doesn't really know she has high blood pressure, have a seizure and die.
Many people have lost a loved one due to the neglect of pregnant Black women. I talked with Betty Jones about the loss of her coworker.
It was unexpected. It's just that she was like, you just see someone at work every day and they're, the belly was growing and yeah, I mean, they were very like anticipating and, you just, when they go on maternity leave, or this was actually before she went on maternity leave, she just, when females pregnant, they have, all types of appointments, doctor's appointments. So they don't come and work as often, but it's just that she was there one day and then, you just don't think of it. It's like, oh, she's pregnant, under the weather. And, you hear, you have this office meeting about, that unfortunately she had passed away.
Although the majority of pregnancies are uneventful, sometimes complications do happen. For women like Felicia Perry, most complications and concerns go unchecked.
As a Black woman, I found that my care was a lot different than what my white counterparts may have had intended. I found my doctor to be a lot more rough during examinations and everything like that. When I originally started experiencing issues with my pregnancy, I brought it to my doctor's attention because I felt like that was the right thing to do, being a 17-year-old being pregnant. And the doctor didn't take me very seriously. He basically said, well, we'll just wait for the blood work to come back in and then we'll know what we need to do. When the blood work came back showing that I was Rh negative, at that point, that's when it became serious. He began to believe me that, oh yes, you are carrying extremely low. Yes, you're having some spotting. Yes, this is what we need to do. So during that time, once everything came back and it was determined what was actually causing the issues, I had my first RhoGAM shot while I was pregnant. That was around 14 to 15 weeks. I had the second one after delivery because of her blood type and my blood type didn't mix. I'm O negative. I had to have a second shot done. So during that time period, I had basically two shots for one pregnancy, all because being Rh negative and carrying a child who has a positive blood type does not mix with my blood, which was causing me to almost abort naturally my own child. I wish that it could have been found sooner and wish it had been identified more quickly than what it was. But healthcare for us as Black women, we're never taken seriously about any type of pain, any type of distress we may be having. So we have to fight harder to get the things that we actually need to have done for us.
Recently, expectant Black mothers find support with doulas and midwives. Doulas are out here improving the outcomes for Black mothers. I talked to trainer and doula Rachel Nix about improving health outcomes and reducing racial disparities.
The best way to understand what a doula is number one, they are not like a clinical professional. So they cannot give you firm medical advice. They cannot make decisions on your behalf, but they are there as a dedicated advocate, coach, mental, emotional, and physical support.